congratulations on winning the Global Architecture and Design Award. And what a beautiful piece. That is spectacular.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I have to let you know this is actually my second time getting this award.
okay.
Yeah,
For the
into
same award?
same category, same award. So in 2000, I submitted a turning chair and I got an award from you guys. So it's a very privilege and honor. And thank you for, keep doing what you guys are doing.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's where you have me out of info because I don't have any information of that
Yeah,
sort. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why we need to bring up. And yeah, it's a big celebration of my end because very happy to be featured twice.
right. So, Insu, I'd like to get your idea of, the inception of the project. How did the inception of the idea, came to develop the ink chair? What was the inception like? The
So the
idea.
inception. This story, I need to rewind to my childhood because I practiced Chinese calligraphy when I was very young. So that actually laid the foundation for my career in art and design. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my background to come back to my point. And I have a bachelor's degree in industrial design and master's in architecture. And my whole art and design journey led me to the full-time role at Populous, which is an architecture design firm specializing in sports and entertainment. And Insu Design is my personal venture whenever my free time allows. So during an architecture project at Populous, we were working on some confidential project in Abu Dhabi. And then a client noted my architecture design resemblance to Arabic choreography, which actually makes sense for the site we are dealing with. So that was actually a trigger moment and inspiration because I used to do Chinese choreography in my childhood again. I started reflecting on all the artistic practices I've done in the past and wanted to envision a chair that encapsulate all the essence. So this is actually I mentioned second time getting an award this category, which is a profound honor. But the first one, called the Turning Chair, was focusing on architectural space and space saving functionality, which resulted in creating a dual purpose chair. But this time, InkChair is more, marrying to artistry with the ergonomic comfort inspired by, choreography, emphasizing in the like brush strokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So, along the similar lines, the next question would be about how has the chair laid emphasis on ergonomics? Because, mind it or not, but ergonomics is the soul of a chair, right? If the ergonomics aren't good, it's soulless, right? So, how did you manage to reach to a degree of comfort with
Yeah,
such a
so
chair?
So the ergonomic definitely took the center stage in crafting the chair. The backrest and armrest, the curve embracing the whole body. So it's offering more than just the artistic expression, is definitely delivering the functional comfort. So the chair is not just the seating, it's not just made for the seat, but it's for experiencing a warm hug, I would like to
Yeah,
say. Yeah, it's a promoting good posture and unparalleled comfort.
I read it in the description. The ergonomics are like it just hugs you, right? It's
Yeah.
along the body curves. So, what was the effort like? I'd like to get a glimpse into your artistic process or the process where when you were working on the ergonomics. So, how was it like? How was it like working with your team of the other workers involved in the process? How was it all?
Well, as the sole proprietor of Insu Design, I'm a multidisciplinary designer practicing in graphic design, architecture, and interior design. So the process involves extensive sketching and like a lot of digital modeling at the same time. So across the scales, it's all about paying attention to every detail. And with my diverse design background, a multidisciplinary approach definitely ensures the final product is top notch.
Right. So, the chair uses carbon fiber as its material, right? So,
Sorry,
what
could you
was
repeat it again?
The chair uses carbon fiber as its material.
Oh
Was the
yeah, yeah,
material
carbon fiber.
for developing this piece like? What?
So choosing carbon fiber for the InkChair wasn't just about strength and weight. It was about adaptability for intricate designs. So the design concept requires to have thickness and variation along continuous curve, right? So striking a balance between toughness and lightness and pushing the boundaries of what carbon fiber could achieve. So the ink chair not only cradles you in comfort, but it stands as a piece of art, I would like to say.
Right. And also, what were the other materials that were in your site? I mean, carbon fiber is the one that eventually landed upon as the material, as a primary material. What were the other materials that you had in your site?
Well, I was thinking about like aluminum or plastic, but then I think the carbon fiber was making the most sense because of the thickness variation. It starts with strong and thick, but it ends with a very thin legs. It's a very elegant piece that requires durability and at the same time lightweight. So
Correct,
that's
obviously.
why I think the carbon fiber was making more sense. But I'm in the progress of fabrication. It's a concept work at this stage, so I might end up in different material. But yeah, at current stage, I think the carbon fiber was making the most sense.
So, what are your views on the evolution of furniture design through the years? We've seen furniture evolving through years and years. Minimalistic designs have come to the fore like never before. So, what are your views on the evolution of furniture design? Where is it headed?
Yeah, I attend ICF. It's the biggest furniture fair in New York City.
All
Happens
right.
every year. Yeah, and I go to other furniture exhibitions like almost every year. So I think that materials and technological advancements are opening doors for innovative designs that are visually striking and pushing the design game. I think all the technological advancements.
We've moved from wood, right? I'm saying we've moved far away from wood. We are obviously experimenting in that realm, but
Yeah,
wood has, yeah.
yeah,
So
definitely.
how do you think the technological advancements are progressing in the realm of material development and furniture design?
Well, I think it's kind of a trend. Design has been always dialogue between what people prefer and what's happening in the world, right? I think as a designer, we shape them with our wild ideas, but also are influenced by ever-changing preferences of the people. So I think it's a constant dialogue where designers and world find that delicate balance. Yeah, I think it's the dialogue between them.
So, right now we're experiencing a different wave in terms of content. The most of the content that people see right now is probably from social media sites. Maybe it's Tumblr, it's Pinterest, it's Instagram. How do you look at the pressure of being on all these platforms to establish a name for yourself
Well, I
as
think
a
as a designer, as a creator, I think it's really good opportunities to show off and present your design. And it's such a free platform like YouTube, Instagram. You can just feature anywhere. I think we have nowadays the freedom to deliver our ideas very quickly and show
yeah,
our interest. So I think it's a revolution.
a revolution in gaining the audience, right?
Yeah,
The right
exactly.
audience. All right. So along the similar lines, I'd like you to have I'd like to have your opinions on the trends. Okay, what is your opinions on trends in design? Do designers shape trends, or do the trends shape the approach of designers?
I think I mentioned this earlier. I think it's the dialogue between the trend and the wide ideas. I think
Okay,
it's a never stopping
about
discussion.
correlated.
Yeah, I think it's a symbiotic relationship.
Okay. But being creative is a source of being a designer, right? So how important is being creatively bolstered in the work that you do? And how do you define your flow of creativity?
Yeah, I think creativity isn't just a bonus. It's just I think it's the heartbeat of design. It's a continuous loop of trying, failing, and embracing an open minded approach to possibilities. So, constantly situating ourselves in new experiences, even in the daily routine, I think it sparks the creative flame.
You know, creating something, putting in the effort, constantly doing it is one thing, but being aware of whatever you've gone through is something different, right? When you talk about the ink chair, the first point that you brought up was your childhood when you learned the calligraphy, right? So that experience, so its creativity cannot just be doing the work, doing the hard work, gathering different ideas. It's about what you are extracting from the experiences that you've had, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think I always reflect my past memories and what I've done, what I've seen, what I've experienced. I think it's summarizing all that into new creativity.
So I'd like to, it's a kind of different question, but what are the projects that you have on your list right now? Just the one. What are the other things you want to see in the near future? So that RTF can be just like prepared for what's coming.
Yeah. So I think the first one would be the bringing the ink chair to life. It tops the current agenda. I think it might be next year, whether through fabrication or collaborations with renowned furniture companies. It's TBD. And then also planning to come up with a new chair that is easy for mass production.
Yeah.
So because the ink was very targeted to high end, and it's more, I would say it's more about more art piece rather than in the chair. I want to treat it that way, but want to do something that everyone can use. And
What
also,
are the challenges of bringing a chair as a mass product? Because when, I mean, it certainly is different looking at different transportation channels. What are some other challenges involved in bringing it to the mass?
definitely simplifying the form and more easy to create a mold. I think the current design right now is very expensive to come up with the mold. But like if you test more, you know, think about like easy way to fabricate and with a less cost that might result in the mass production. So that's something I wanna make it into the next step. But InkChair itself is art, I consider. But the next one would be another different design that adapts the production side.
So, Insu, what I'd like to get your ideas on what your advice would be to young designers out there who are looking to make a mark of their own.
I think doing different things definitely, like something original. It doesn't have to be crazy. Something that interests you. It definitely widens perspective, and but also contributes to become a well-rounded designer. For example, my life beyond the drawing board, I love going to nature walk and Central Park and quick subway ride to the beach and exploring vibrant streets of NYC with my pet bird on my shoulder. I have a bird anyway. Yeah, and travel the world. And I was featured in New York Magazine twice in the past with my bird on it. So I think the life in
I
general,
mean,
if you
I'll note of it, and next time we're gonna feature you, it's gonna be the same thing. You and your pet.
yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm a street artist with my bird walking around in the city. Yeah, like even doing that, it's just I think it's just to fuse me into the creative world. It's actually influencing other people, like in a very positive way, right? When I walk around with my pet bird, it's like people are like, "Oh, it's so adorable." It's just that gives you instant reaction, and that actually inspires me to be a better designer because I'm seeing the response and feedback, like how I'm performing on the street. Like that's a constant dialogue. It's a constant dialogue between myself and the audience and people walking passing by. So yeah, I think just
Is one of the most different approach to design I have ever heard in school.
yeah, just being out there and then do crazy things and exploring, other things that you haven't done in the past. Just situating yourself in a, you know, very unconventional way, like, somewhere you never been to, or performing or doing something that you never. So I would like to say like traveling world and being yourself out there and keep pushing and keep doing whatever you'd like to pursue. I think that already is a huge trigger to becoming a well-rounded designer.
Correct, yeah. And most of it boils down to this one thing. It is about feeling the specific moment, right? Like every moment. When you said that you've got your pet, and when you're traveling, there are people who have their own reactions, right? Sometimes they make you happy, or probably a lot of times it makes you happy, right? So that is, it happens because you're right in that moment feeling the thing, right? So feeling is one thing, and certainly that is a great advice because you cannot always be on the drawing board, right? There has to be some kind of inspiration and the outside world, nothing better than this. Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, we've gone ahead, and my last question was how does your off the table life shape your professional life? I think you summed a lot of it
Yeah,
already, but if you would like to like expand, get us some other ideas about it.
I think every experience fuels creativity. I think it's the um, balancing personal interest not only widens perspectives, but also I think it's the contributing factor to become a well-rounded designer. I think a designer should have like wide, broaden experience as much
Mm.
as possible. For example, like working for this hospitality project, if I had to design a spa, you have to experience the spa to come up with the design, right? So I think as a designer, you need to experience a lot of things beyond the design. A chair for the spa, you need to be in the space and actually go through all the sequence of the spa and all the service that it's more about like the need finding and also coming up with the solutions and what you can improve and what you can do next. So I think throwing yourself out there is the definitely key and triggering factor to be a well-rounded designer.
Yeah, so thank you, Insu. And also the other day, I was hearing in words from Roy Anderson. He's a famous film director himself. So one thing that he said and that stuck with me was he just didn't like minimalism. It was like minimalism is killing the art. Not like it isn't the art, but then the curves, the intricacies of the design, they're being killed under the label minimalism. So what minimalism is exactly to you in the realm of furniture design? What is it to you?
Well, all the designers have a different taste and flavors, right? The ink chair, again, I was considering as a more like art, maybe sculpture that
Yeah,
has a
sculpture,
comfort
better word.
and maybe has the comfort and all the functionality has with
Hmm.
it. But the minimalism, I would like to say, is only carrying the ergonomic standpoint, I think, with the minimal cost that involved with. And I think if you can achieve minimalism with a very elegant design solution, I think that would be the best design feature. I think like what I'm trying to do in my the third version, my next chair for mass production, and if I combine the next one and then the artistry that came up with the ink, I think that might ended up being very minimalism approach. So I think it's also the balance what you want to try to sell, whether it wants to be treated as a high end art piece or it's the mass production for everyone. But for this one, for sure, I wanted to deliver all my artistic essence to the piece. So yeah, that was my goal. I wasn't thinking about like the whole market, but I just wanted to create something very unique and original and something is not out there. and making it beautiful, but at the same time being functional as well. So yeah, that
Correct.
was my approach.
And being unfazed by these terms, right? Just be you out there, right? Being unfazed of what kind of project you want to go ahead with. Whatever comes into your mind, go ahead, let it flow, let the creativity flow, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, that was all from our end, Insu. It was great having you. A very insightful conversation. I thank you for being so insightful.
Thank you as well.
Cheers. Bye.